Mingalaba. Welcome to AMPA Myanmar and Power Expo Myanmar Digital Fringe Program. I'm Rachani Su from Taipei World Trade Center. Our topics for today focus on Myanmar automotive industries. We are very honored to have two distinguished industry leaders in Myanmar here with us today. The associations they are on behalf of have been great supporters of AMPA Myanmar and Power Expo Myanmar for years. Hi, Dr. Sotong and Mr. Allen. How are you doing?
Hello, Mingalaba.
Hi. First, Dr. Sotong, please give us a brief introduction of your association Manda. What are the vision and mission? How many members and how many branches you have? Please, the floor is yours.
Yes, our association is a Myanmar Automobile Manufacturer Distributor Association. We call it MANDA, MAMD. Was founded on 6 June 2013. We have our clusters are car assembler, distributors, importers, seller of the used car and repair service provider. Today, number of the members are about 800. Our branches are Yangon, Mandalay, Nepido, Shan, Kayin, Sagai, Bagu, Magui, and Mon State. So I will show our PowerPoint.
Yes, please.
Our mission and vision, MANDA was found to assist people in gaining access towards the automobile quality and design value. The association is run by the cooperation of automakers and distributors across the country. Our objectives are assisting the wide use of automobiles within every layer of the society and creating an employment opportunity through the expansion and innovation of the automotive sector, encouraging both domestic and foreign investment. Standardize the automobile industry in Myanmar with the ASEAN model. Support the nation transportation and economy through the development of the auto-related industries. To develop auto-related industry, such as production, distribution, sales and service, as well as maintenance-related technology. Okay, this is a short presentation of our association.
Thank you, Dr. Sotong, for your introduction. Hi, Mr. Allen. Could you please tell us more about your association?
Hi, Rishne. Thank you for having me. And I would also like to thank AMPA Myanmar and Power Expo Myanmar for having YCSSA as part of the participant here today. And I will be sharing our association PowerPoint slides. Okay, YCSA, we founded this association to support the systematic development of importation, distribution, manufacturing, and basically all inclusive automotive services sectors. Also to represent the stakeholders and a member of our organizations on importation, distribution, manufacturing, automotive service sector relating to the parts necessary. As you know, automotive sectors, spare parts, etc., is a rather a very large segment. And also to promote production or assemblies of quality automotive parts and accessories by cooperating among importers and manufacturers from both domestic and abroad. To develop the employment opportunities and participate in the automotive sector, which shall be benefits and essential human resources for domestic production, installation, as well as the assembly for automotive vehicles. And we also will be publishing technology and market-related information to automotive parts and accessory industry, just to share the information among stakeholders. And we do support and promote the innovations. And to support the assistance to the member of YCSSA, and also to negotiate between foreign and domestic organizations, as well as the respective government ministries. Finally, to carry out the other performance in line with the provisions of laws and other support activities, and whichever that will help to grow the automotive spare parts industry market in Myanmar. And our association was founded in March 2019, and this is our first annual general meeting. And in fact, MANDA, Myanmar Automotive Manufacturer and Distributor Association, we have a MOU agreement to cooperate between associations. And that is our participation back in 2019 for AMPA Myanmar. We also do give out the trainings for the International Automotive Task Force. So basically we have for the distributor, manufacturer, and importer, right? So this is one for the manufacturers in Myanmar. And we invite our members to go to look into different markets, such as like going to, other trade fairs, such as like in India, like this, as well as in Shanghai in China. We do have regular panel discussions. This is one of the few panels that we had. We talk about automotive spare parts market outlook panel. And this one is recently been done. This is talking about lubricant market outlook in Myanmar. And thank you.
Next, Dr. Sotong. Many of our visitors might not be familiar with the car sales in Myanmar. Could you please tell us about how the vehicle sales have been in Myanmar in the past few years?
Yes. Using my PowerPoint presentation, the government they allowed to import car in 2011. So you can see this. We have the facts we allowed to import the used car, especially from Japan domestic used car. So you can see in 2011 and 12, it's around about 40,000. And from 2012 to 2016, is every year is around about 100,000 per year. It's especially for used car. But in 2018, the government they changed their policy from right-hand drive to left-hand drive, and also the more favorable to the SKD similar car in Myanmar, and also the brand new car. So that's why number of the car import or used car is dramatically decreased in 2018 and 2019 fiscal year. So there's a brand new car import in Myanmar. The popular brand is Toyota. The other brand. So and this is 2018 and 19. So this is around about the total brand new car import is around about 20,000. But in the CPU is about 5,000 units. SKD is a similar car in Myanmar. Is the Lexia is same volume is around about 15,000. In Myanmar, is the Suzuki is the popular brand in Myanmar. Because of the Suzuki, the invested in Myanmar is more than 10 years. So that's why they got a lot of market share. We have the more than 50 dealer network in Myanmar. That's why Suzuki, the sales volume is compared to others. In the brand new market, currently the Suzuki is about 50% market share for the brand new car market in Myanmar. But in the 2019-2020, there are a lot of brand in Myanmar. Today is SKD is the 70 company they got a permission from Myanmar Investment Commission. But in the near future after COVID, so Myanmar is a competitive automotive market in Myanmar because of the today is 17 car assembler is currently working in Myanmar. So after COVID, you can see how the competitive market in Myanmar. So this is the current Myanmar car sale in Myanmar. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sotong. Now we have some questions for Mr. Allen. How about the automotive service sector in Myanmar? Is there any change in the market in terms of technical and engineering requirements? Please.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the questions. And again, I have to refer back to the answer, the information that I also has provided previously. Because if you look at it, more and more different brands of cars are coming into Myanmar. And initially, we only have majority of the cars in Myanmar are Japanese made car or Japanese brands car. But however, in the past 4 or 5 years, different brands of car coming in, such as like Ford, other American Europeans cars coming in, and also shifting from right-hand drive to left-hand drive, and also make a bit of an impact in the automotive spare parts accessory market. But comparing to the 2019 and 2020, it's rather a very unique. If you look at it in the technical segment, yes, there's a bit of a change because the government policy is encouraging to bring in more newer car, either brand new car or bring in more newer car. As you know, technology is always changing. So of course, there's a different types of parts required, high technology requirement to repair the cars, such as computer diagnosis or whatnot. So these are the additions that are coming into the Myanmar market. But however, most of the cars coming into Myanmar now, they are still quite I would say, selective car models, even among different brands, because spare parts is extremely important. Once you have a car, you need to run you need to do the maintenance, you need to do repair. So availability of these spare parts played a very key role for a brand to success. That's what we found out from our association in the market. So the changes, in short, the changes in the market, yes, there's a advanced technology requirement coming into the market, and then newer cars are coming in, and also newer parts are coming in. More variety of brands, so more different parts are required. But if you look at 2019 and 2020, it's rather different because 2020, because of the COVID, situation has a bit of a change. It's not a normal, typical market trend. Well, of course, the parts requirement is the same, but it's a market. The movement of the market is a bit rather different than the past years. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Our next question is for Dr. Sotong. What is the latest automotive policy in Myanmar, and how does it affect the automotive sector in Myanmar? Doctor?
Currently is the usage of UIO of the Myanmar is very low compared to the other ASEAN country. So the automotive policy is to increase the usage of vehicle with affordable prices in each and every sector to be higher UIO. In this policy, the vehicle penetration ratio in the designated period of the time expected UIO are as follows. You can see in the table. So, and within a short time of 5 years, our vehicle penetration ratio is 4%. In the median time, the second stage, the 5 year is about 8%. The long term, the third year is 20%. So the brand new car sale in the next 15 years, we think about 1.2 million per year. So this is our target automotive policy to do that. Because of the the usage of the car is very low compared to other countries. That's why I mean the automotive policy is maybe good potential for the foreign investor. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sotong. Thank you for sharing with us the latest policy changes in Myanmar. So, how will it affect the auto part manufacturing sector in Myanmar? How would it support the auto assembly as well? So, Mr. Allen, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I think there's two different segment in the auto parts sector. One is the aftermarket parts. The other one is the OEM, original equipment manufacturing parts. Usually what it comes that we need to have a volume, car production volume or assembly volume to be for the, assembler to be able to be, economically viable to sell in Myanmar, right? And so the spare parts market actually follows. So in this spare part and service sector, it could go both way. It could be some area, some auto parts manufacturers need to be set up in Myanmar earlier than the other parts, because it is a part of the supply chain to make the vehicle more affordable, right? Because if we have to import a lot of things, then that will be very expensive. Maybe delivery issues, other issues are part of the key risk. So automotive, auto parts, spare parts in Myanmar right now, as far as I was concerned, as far as I have known, there are a very limited number of parts assembler or manufacturers in Myanmar. Some basic or the necessity product like batteries, some tires companies, and seat manufacturers are already in Myanmar. Referring back to the data that Dr. Usotung has shared, Myanmar automotive, policies is clearly stated that there is a huge potential for the market growth, as well as the government policy is already highlighting the needs of mobility in Myanmar in general. So auto parts sector come into a very important role, both on the supply chain side as well as on the maintenance side. So in that regards, there is a huge potential in terms of assemblers for the auto parts sectors, importers, distributors, as well as the servicing sectors in Myanmar. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. So one final question for you. What would you suggest to the international companies, our exhibitors, to get into Myanmar? Could you give us some suggestions?
Thank you. Be a Kali comer, because the market opportunities here, I think it is important for each and every one of us to grab the opportunity. As you have known, Myanmar was barely interesting market for automotive sectors past 10 years ago. As the government policy trying to promote more automotive sectors, and more investors are coming in. And again, UIO, unit in operation, compared to other ASEAN countries, Myanmar is one of the lowest or the least UIO. So, and also because of along with the policies, the people, in order for the public to be able to have affordable car or the competitive pricing range car, and automotive sectors need to become into a major role. Assemblers can only be assembling with a very more cost-effective way if there is a supply chain included in Myanmar. So I would like to invite manufacturers, assemblers for the auto parts sector coming to invest in Myanmar. At the same time, we do have one of the project under Myanmar Automotive Development Public Company Limited, which is a public company that is trying to promote the one automobile complex centers near Yangon, that is in Daegu. And if that is going to happen, then that will be including warehouses, auto car sales centers for both brand new and reconditions, and the training school, trading centers, banks, everything all in, registration office. So that's a one automobile complex where people can actually go in and look into and spend time and trade cars, as well as to buy parts and repair. And that will be one good example for Myanmar automobile industries. And that I would like to invite again, for the audience to have a look into the potential of investment opportunity as well as a collaboration opportunity with the key players and state players in Myanmar. Thank you.
Question for you. What would you suggest to the international companies, our exhibitors, to get into Myanmar? Could you give us some suggestions?
Thank you. Be a Kali comer, because the market opportunities here, I think it is important for each and every one of us to grab the opportunity. As you have known, Myanmar was barely interesting market for automotive sectors past 10 years ago. As the government policy trying to promote more automotive sectors, and more investors are coming in. And again, UIO, unit in operation, compared to other ASEAN countries, Myanmar is one of the lowest or the least UIO. So, and also because of along with the policies, the people, in order for the public to be able to have affordable car or the competitive pricing range car, and automotive sectors need to be coming into a major role. Assemblers can only be assembling with a very more cost-effective way if there is a supply chain included in Myanmar. So I would like to invite manufacturers, assemblers for the auto body sector to come in to invest in Myanmar. At the same time, we do have one of the project under Myanmar Automotive Development Public Company Limited, which is a public company that is trying to promote the one automobile complex centers near Yangon, that is in Daegu. And if that is going to happen, then that will be including warehouses, auto car sales centers for both brand new and reconditions, and the training school, trading centers, banks, everything all in, registration office. So that's a one automobile complex where people can actually go in and look into and spend time and trade cars as well as to buy parts and repair. And that would be one good example for Myanmar automobile industries. And that I would like to invite again, for the audience to have a look into the potential of investment opportunity as well as a collaboration opportunity with the key players and state players in Myanmar. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, finally we come to the end of this session. We would like to say thanks again to our speakers. I hope you will also enjoy visiting their virtual booths and chatting with their members who participate at AMPA Myanmar and Power Expo Myanmar Digital. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Jesu Timbale.